Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button and just look at that hair, guys. That's what happens when your hairdresser is a bit of a bellend and won't cut your hair. But anyway, anyway, enough of that. We'll go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, here we go. Bitcoin on the 4 hour. Bitcoin on the 4 hour. As you can see, we appear to have confirmed this range currently at present between obviously this 58,000 level to the upside and 46,000 level to the downside. We are currently trying to approach obviously the middle part of that range around the 52,000, and yeah, I mean what I am looking for here is basically sideways within this range, within this 58,000 to 46,000. Obviously we can split that range into two bits, which we've got this level of resistance anyway, so that splits it quite nicely, even though it's not quite in the middle. But yeah, so realistically, if we get back above 50 and hold above 53,000, then we'll just be looking for a retest of those 58,000 highs. If we stay below 53,000, we could potentially be looking for just a retest back below around the 47,000 level. But yeah, we'll just have to see how the market trades. We are getting to obviously the middle part of that range. I mean, we're at basically about 51,000, so not far away from that resistance. So today will be pivotal to decide, are we going to break straight back above and literally just be a short-term blip down that we've had recently, shake a few people out, or are we going to get rejected here, turn back down, test this 47k level, maybe have another little bounce, and then potentially take it out? We'll have to see how it goes. But again, I mean, it is as simple as level by level. Over 53,000, closing higher time frame candles, then yeah, we'll be looking at 58, getting rejected at around this 52, 53 level and starting to come back down. Will pretty much signal that we are going to come back and test this level, and then it'll be a case of do we break below this level and go lower. Obviously we have all that tether stuff going on. They basically have a 90-day reprieve in which they can potentially find the funds. So there are obviously possibilities that tether that has pumped up Bitcoin up a lot, if it does need to get dollars to bolster its bank accounts, to like show it actually has the reserves it claims it does, it may have to sell BTC to get those dollars. So they could be selling. That is potentially what the market was digesting here. But then again, we do have, obviously we know we have companies buying, people buying, just a general FOMO. So could that Bitfinex selling, if that is indeed what is happening, the tether selling, as in the tether selling Bitcoin to get more dollars, I mean, as in not necessarily selling tether, basically can that drag the market down? Or what I am kind of hoping is it just keeps us in the sideways range, obviously with an equilibrium between the buyers and the sellers. Obviously tether want to accumulate some dollars, but they don't want to tank the Bitcoin price, so they may be careful about it. And yeah, that may be what results in this range. New people coming to buying in. Elon may be buying some more, Michael Saylor buying some more, and then obviously the people over at Tether selling some, and then we could trade sideways, and that could be excellent for altcoins. Sideways BTC is usually excellent for altcoins. So obviously if the Tether people are wanting to accumulate dollars, I mean, they basically have Bitcoin to sell. They're not selling altcoins. They don't use their Tether to buy an absolute ton of altcoins. They do it to buy BTC. So yeah, I mean, there we go. There we could see the underperformance of BTC relative to altcoins. and yeah, see some altcoin moves. That is the dream. That is the dream. But like I said, we've got to get realistically to look golden. We've got to get above 53k. And hold up there, because obviously there is no reason why we can't get rejected here, come back down, test these lows again and get support, they're going to move back up. But obviously when you're testing these levels, there's obviously the chance you'll break it. So there you go, and it's not even like it's just a small chance. I mean, if we come back down here, we could very easily break it, and then come back down to test around the low 40s. So yes, Ethereum, Bitcoin has this put in a bottom. We've come into this confluence zone here, as you can see, lots of trading here. Dipped very deeply into it, and we are now looking to bounce quite strongly out of it. We have obviously got this important horizontal, this horizontal here, the spot 3-3, which basically we were saying we're looking bearish, looking like we're coming down to. I didn't think we were going to get as close to this one so quick, but hey, that's crypto. Timing in crypto is very difficult. The actual where the moves are going are a lot, not I didn't say easier, but a lot easier to predict than the timing of any move. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot easier. Both are hard, but predicting the timing is a lot harder, and I would say practically impossible. But right, here we go. So spot 3-3, spot 0-3-3, getting back above here. we could look like start to look like we put in a bottom here, and then really start to make some progress to the upside. That is what I would expect if Bitcoin is going to trade sideways within this range. I am honestly, guys, not expecting, with all the stuff that is going on, Bitcoin to bust above 58k and keep continuing upwards at the moment. At present, I think this 90-day period is going to put the upside dampeners, and yeah, and even for technical reasons like the actual they may be selling selling Bitcoin to release cash. To release dollars, but like I said, that can very easily be countered. We are in a macro big bull market, and people are interested in this asset, so that could easily be offset. And then like I said, they're not going to want to tank the price. They'll probably only really sell as much as they can get away with, and not try to keep pinned in a range, but sell whilst Bitcoin does stay relatively high. So that is what I'm potentially thinking, and yeah, and like I said, that could massively benefit altcoins relative to Bitcoin, and probably benefit altcoins in USD value. Obviously, if Bitcoin's staying where it is, that basically goes without saying. So yeah, Ethereum USD, we'll have a look at Ethereum USD. Obviously, this is Kraken that I use. So you can see we had an absolute epic scam wick on Kraken. So there you go. But ignoring that scam wick, you can see if we actually extend this horizontal over from here, we have just had a nice back test of this level. So we had this level here, we broke above, sort of came and back tested it, carried on, and then fully and formally and properly back tested it. But though this is now not looking too bad again, making pretty good progress here. This looks like what is known as a strong bottom. Also, you would note the 4-hour 9 got us on the low, acceleration into that 9. People prematurely trying to buy into the 8, the 8 red 8 TD8. I don't know why I can't even talk about it. Can't get my words out. Anyway, people that tried to front run this 9 obviously would have got wrecked, but there you go. So onwards and upwards, getting back. I mean, if Ethereum gets above basically we'll just call it 1750, then it will look very good again. It would look very good for some serious continuation to the upside. So yeah, Ethereum, and we are looking like we can do that anyway. So Ethereum looking good, Ethereum looking good. Dollar index, there we go. Yeah, I mean, we knew this, guys. This whole run up here, we have been saying, I mean, literally, we can get into the low 92s, that's fine, but we're probably going to get rejected somewhere along the way, and if not, get rejected in the low 92s, and then everything's honky-dory and we'll keep coming down, and yeah, it was just a pullback, bro. And yeah, that 92, we didn't even make that level, pulled back, bounced, pulled back, and now we are looking, this is looking incredibly bearish. Incredibly, we got macro trend down. We've got pattern down, as in the head and shoulders pattern. Well, as soon as this confirms and breaks, with targets down to back into the 89. So, and then obviously once we literally get down to this level, then yeah, I mean, then we can just keep going. It is so funny to see that I drew these targets saying 20k plus Bitcoin, maybe even 30k, and we are nowhere near it yet, and we are at basically 50k Bitcoin. That just shows how crazy the Bitcoin market is, and also how using the DXY to actually judge price levels is a bit pointless. But I'm glad to have proven that fact to you guys. Yeah, 10 years creeping up. This is going to put a dampener on the market at some point. The dampener on assets, but I would say it just means yield curve control is going to have to come into play, which could potentially weaken the dollar, which is then going to be good for certain assets. But yeah, so yeah, this is not just one-sided. But yeah, as you can see, creeping up and up and up and up. 1.5 is an important level. If we can see the confluence basically here. 1.5 is an important level. We'll actually draw this horizontal. We'll draw some important horizontals because I mean, this literally in the shorter term, before the Fed obviously steps in, is going to cause some serious problems. Some serious problems, because obviously, well, the US is just up to it. Every sector in the US, from government to corporations to personal people, are up to their eyeballs in debt. So obviously, they are highly sensitive to interest rate increases. So yes, and I mean, we can't get to 2%. We get to 2% is basically game over. If we get to 2%, I mean, you would seen this in lots of crypto charts before. Basically, you get your first leg, you get your second leg, and then you get your parabolic third leg, and we're gonna get the J hook. Yeah, and then that is just it's gonna be an absolute disaster. I mean, it will be wild. You'd have to assume that they're gonna have to print a load of dollars to try. I mean, it will be wild, guys. And I pretty much believe this is potentially what we've got incoming. It just depends on basically people's confidence in the Fed, which I mean previously has been obviously quite high. The Fed can basically jawbone. It can talk. It's credible threats from the Fed, saying what it can and can't do, which is going to ultimately control a lot of these markets. But obviously, when they lose that credible threat status ability, then that's when markets is just going to go haywire, going absolute haywire. Because either this will just skyrocket, or they'll print to cap the yield curve, and then it's a dollar will tank. Yeah, so we've got some interesting times. At which point, silver particularly will start to do incredibly well. Obviously, gold is underperforming, but remember, silver is an industrial metal. So previously, when gold outperforms silver, that's when people are looking at precious metals, and you get all the people like Tony Vay saying silver's not a precious metal anymore, it's just an industrial metal, it's not a currency, it's not a currency metal, etc. I mean, obviously it's a precious metal, but it has obviously its value is linked to obviously industrial use. But now if you want to look at any commodities, let's look at copper. Well, there you go. Let's look at soybeans. Well, there you go. Let's look at wheat. Well, there you go. Any others we want to look at? Yeah, no, you get the point. So obviously silver being an industrial metal, being a commodity, as well as a precious metal, is clearly getting two bids. It's getting two bids, one from the people wanting precious metals, and one from the people like that are basically bidding up hard assets just because of inflation. So yeah, silver is the one, as I keep saying, and have been saying for like over a year. I have stopped accumulating silver a long time ago when prices and premiums went up. But yeah, that is that. Yeah, over to stock market. Stock market's obviously had a bit of a hiccup, but we're looking like we're just even in stock market it's a BTFD. But we shall see, because at some point, like I've said, there is the risk with taxation on companies that they start to not do so well, even though Bitcoin could potentially keep going up just due to inflation. Due to the inflation aspect of Bitcoin potentially. Well, it is classed as a commodity in amongst professional amongst finance professionals. Yeah, Nasdaq as well. Nasdaq was particularly under a lot of pressure, and as you can see, that is bouncing on a 4-hour 9. Yeah, I mean, if this does start to recover again, it could look good. But like I said, I am looking for, even if stocks are not gonna keep going, if stocks aren't gonna go down, I do really see sideways stagnation, maybe a slight upward bias, but I just don't see the potential moves up, because obviously we've got the interest, we've got the 10-year going up, which obviously implies inflation, which is obviously good for commodities. We've also got the taxation coming in. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, but obviously the interest rates going up are bad for lots of companies that are saddled with debt. So unless you are literally a company that mines maybe precious metals, then I think you're really going to struggle. Dogecoin, is Elon gonna fork Dogecoin? Who knows? But yeah, this is an absolute crazy coin. This is, guys. Yeah, just a crazy coin. A lot of people made a lot of money on it, though. To be fair, these are big moves. I mean, if we look at this is basically the end of January. And this is less than a month ago. So if we look at the gains, we'll just take a rough price, a median price of this range. And even currently we're up nearly 500%. So yeah, excellent there. Well done, Elon. Right, so back over to BTC, and let's have a look at those stochastics, because they could be telling us something. I mean, 4-hour is telling us that we are gonna at least come and come and test this 52, 53 level. That's what 4-hour is telling me. 10-hour is 10-hour is looking to turn up from a pretty deep level. This could if this gets going, I mean, we're definitely going through 53. I'm going to start looking to test that 58 high again. 12-hour though, still diving, still downward pressure. Daily coming down, 2-day coming down, 3-day coming down from a high level. 5-day still pointing up, weekly still pointing up, bi-weekly coming down. So I mean, again, I kind of keep saying I'm looking now for sideways within this range. But yeah, I mean, these stochastics are kind of saying we are going to come and test this 52, 53 level, and then we'll decide what we do there, which is just generally what I was saying before even looking at the stochastics. And then yeah, if we get through here, then those higher time frames, daily and 2-day stochastics, will basically start to turn back up, along with the 12-day, and start to get moving, and that could just potentially get us to the 58k, where I would expect we would meet resistance yet again, both for technical and for basically tether selling reasons. So yeah, that is it, guys. Altcoins, yeah, having a nice move this morning, which is good to see. So yeah, thank you for listening, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you. Oh, I forgot one thing. We've also got to remember that that we've got those stimmies coming in, those stimulus checks coming in for all those folks sat at home on their Robinhood apps in America. And then obviously, if you guys not that I'm monitoring TikTok, I'm monitoring people that are monitoring TikTok, and they are telling me that obviously they're getting a lot more wild into cryptocurrencies now as well. So when these next stimmies come in, yeah, I mean, it might not just be buying calls on stocks in Robinhood. It may be the crypto's turn this time, and cryptos can start to go absolutely crazy insane. So We've had numerous trends. We've had Dogecoin trending in TikTok. We've got Cardano ADA trending at the moment in TikTok. So yeah, I mean, I think they will just do their pump and dump cycle through various cryptos, and yeah, armed with their $1,400 stimmies, we could be in for some serious altcoin action. So yeah, there we go, guys. Thanks for listening. I shall speak to you guys later on today.